Hello everyone. Now we'll start our next session, that is component mounting, soldering and testing of dual power supply. So first we will see the PCB. So this is just introduction about PCB. PCB has two sides. One is track side and other is component side. So you have to mount the component from non-copper track. So this is non-copper track side. So you have to mount component from this. So today's session is mounting the component, soldering and testing. Next, in PCB manufacturing, we had seen circuit diagram in Proteus. We had seen PCB layout and artwork in Express PCB. We had seen pattern transfer, dark fidelity, etching, cleaning. Now next part is component mounting and soldering. So in this session, we are doing component mounting, soldering as well as testing of the circuit. So first we require power supply circuit diagram. So this is my circuit diagram which we had made in Proteus. Then we require PCB layout. So we have done the PCB. So this is PCB using hot iron and rocker type etching machine. Now our next part starts here. So component mounting and soldering. So take the dual regulated power supply, mount the component as per the circuit diagram. Now take precaution that components are placed on the non-copper side and then the PCB is turned over for soldering. So components are placed on non-copper side. Take precaution of terminal while mounting the diode, electrolytic capacitor, voltage regulator and LEDs, because diode has terminals anode and cathode. If terminals are changed, circuit will not operate. Capacitor has electrolytic capacitor has polarity, positive, negative. So if capacitor is reversed, circuit will not operate. Voltage regulator also has proper pins. Pin number 1 input, 2 ground, 3 output. So if regulator is reversed, you are not getting output. Even LEDs has anode and cathode. So if LEDs are reversed, output will not be proper. So take precaution of terminal while mounting the components. It is very important. So this is my PCB layout. Then this is my actual diagram of a silk screen. So these are two filter, capacitor, diode, regulator, etc. These are my components. So my first component is transformer with mains cord. Then 4 diodes. These are 4 diodes for rectifier. Then 2 capacitors. So these are 2 capacitors. Then 7805, 7905. This is 7805. This is 7905. Then 10 microfarad capacitor. This is 10 microfarad capacitor. Then resistors. So these are resistors. Then LED, red LED, green LED, and output terminal. This is my output terminal. So I have taken the component. Now we have to mount the component from non-copper track. So this is copper track side. So we have to mount from non-copper track. So it looks like this. So this is non-copper track side. So you have to mount the component. After mounting component, we have to prepare for soldering gun. So take soldering gun and prepare it for soldering. You cannot do soldering directly. So you have to prepare soldering gun. So for that, place the soldering iron in stand and plug in. Stand is very important. The iron will take a few minutes to reach its operating temperature of 400 degrees Celsius. Keep it in mind, temperature at soldering iron is 400 degrees Celsius. So take precaution while doing soldering. So wait a few minutes for soldering iron to warm up. How to check whether soldering gun is hot or not? So for that, you have to melt some solder metal on the tip of the soldering gun. Soldering metal is made up by lead and tin. Now wipe the tip of the iron on the sponge. This will clean the tip. So to clean the tip, we have to use sponge. Now melt little soldering on the tip of the iron. This process is known as tinning, and it is helpful to heat the flow from iron to joint. So you have to do this procedure compulsory. You have to tin the soldering tip so that soldering will become perfect. Now your soldering is ready. You can do the soldering. So this is the precaution, or you can say procedure, to prepare for soldering. After that, these are the material: soldering stand, soldering metal, desoldering pump, soldering gun. This is plier. Don't use plier to cut the terminal. You have to use cutter. Then do the soldering as per the component attached and check the soldering. If there is any dry soldering, you have to correct it. What is the dry soldering? So see this picture. In this, the correct procedure to do the soldering is connect soldering gun first so that this copper will become hot. then insert metal so that this metal will melt and spread. So when metal spreads, there is no air, and if there is no error, then this soldering is perfect. If there is error, if there is air, then that soldering is dry soldering. So you have to take precaution, don't use dry soldering. So for that, you have to first connect soldering gun, then soldering metal. After that, after your soldering, remove the soldering metal and then remove the soldering gun. So the sequence is first connect soldering gun, then insert metal, then remove metal, and then remove soldering gun. So after that, your soldering will be perfect. So you have to do the soldering. After soldering, you have to cut the terminals by using cutter. So don't cut the terminals before soldering. Always cut the terminal after soldering. So you have to cut the terminals. Don't use plier. Here I am using plier, but don't use plier. And then your PCB is ready after soldering. So my soldering is done. So my PCB is ready. So this is my top view. This is my layout. So as per layout, I had connected the components. So this is for transformer. This is for transformer. These are 4 diodes. These are 4 diodes. These are 2 filter capacitor. This is 7805. This is 7905. 10 microfarad capacitor, resistors, LED, and output terminal. So my setup is ready for test. So this is my setup ready for test. I had connected transformer 12012, and this is mains cord, which is connected to 230 volt as primary, and secondary is connected to my board. And this is my output terminal. Here I can measure the voltage. So you have to switch on the power supply, and after switch on the power supply, we have to check the output. So you have to connect the transformer to secondary, connect the mains cord to primary, and switch on the power supply. Take precaution that when you connect 230 volt supply, there should be insulation tape or heat shrink to avoid any electric shock. After that, test your circuit at various points, like you can test it at voltage at secondary, voltage at rectifier filter. You can check voltage across 7805, 7905, voltage of output 7805, 7905. The output of 7805 is plus 5 volt, and output of 7905 is minus 5 volt. You should get plus 5 volt and minus 5 volt. And see the status of LED. LED should turn on. So if you switch on the supply, your outputs are like this. So I am getting plus 5 volt here, red light is on, green light is on, and here I am getting minus 5 volt. So 7805 gives plus 5 volt and 7905 gives minus 5 volt. So this is the testing of our circuit. Now you have to take precaution, safety precaution while doing soldering. This is very important. These are safety precautions. Never touch element or tip of the soldering iron, because the temperature of that soldering iron is 400 degrees Celsius. So it will burn you. So always return the soldering iron into its stand. So soldering stand is specially used for that. Keep your soldering gun in the soldering stand. Never put it down on your workbench. So if you put it down on workbench, so workbench may damage, or if you touch by mistake, you will be burned. So allow joints to minute to cool, so that to cool before you touch. Then work in well ventilated area. The soldering metal is made up by lead and tin, and lead is acid. So lead is acid, so it is harmful for body. Therefore work in well ventilated area, and after soldering always wash your hands. Then if you are getting burned, though treatment should be there. So treatments are minor burns are simple. Immediately cool the affected area under running cold water. First step, immediately give running cold water, then keep burn in cold water for at least 5 minutes. It is expected to for 15 minutes, but at least 5 minutes. If ice is available, you can use ice. Do not apply any cream or ornaments. So do not apply any cream. The burn will heal better without them. A dry dressing such as clean handkerchief may be applied if you wish to protect the area from dirt. So seek medical treatment if your burn area is bigger than your hand. So these are some treatment for minor burns. So now we will see how to mount the component, how to do the soldering, testing of dual regular power supply in real. So this is the component mounting. testing, soldering and testing section. So now we will see how to do all this process in real. So let's go for that. So I am Santosh Kambe, S Kambe. So today's session is soldering and testing. So these are the material. So this is soldering gun, this is PCB holder, soldering metal, desoldering pump. This is my PCB layout bottom view, this is my PCB layout top view, and this is my actual PCB. This is my transformer with mains cord. This is connector for transformer. These are 4 diodes for rectifier. These are 2 capacitors for filter. These are 2 ICs 7805 and 7905. These are 2 capacitors 10 microfarad output. These are 2 LEDs red and green and 2 resistors. And this is the connector for output. This is my multimeter to check the voltage. This is sleeve. I am using sleeve instead of my insulation tape. If you see, you can use this sleeve. So there is no need to use insulation tape. So I am using sleeve. This is my cutter and this is my plier. Okay. So first step is we have to mount the component. So I will mount the component as per my circuit diagram. So first I will mount the component. So first is transformer. So this is the connector for transformer. Then these are diodes. So I have to connect diodes. So these are my rectifier. So I have to mount the components as per my layout. After rectifier, I have to mount filter. So 1000 microfarad capacitor. This big terminal is positive, small terminal is negative, or this line is negative. So I will connect the capacitor. And I will connect this second capacitor. Then 7805 regulator. Then 79005 regulator. Then output capacitor 10 microfarad. Then output capacitor 10 microfarad. After that I have to mount resistor and red LED for positive voltage regulator. Then again resistor and green LED for negative voltage regulator. And then for output I have to connect output connector. So my output connector. So this is my diagram and this is my components. Layout, top view, and this is my actual top view. This is my bottom view. Now if we turn the PCB, component will drop. So we have to bend the components like this. So I have to bend the components so that component will not drop down. You have to mount all components and then we'll start soldering. I will connect this connector afterwards. So I had mounted the components. Now this is your PCB holder. You have to keep this in PCB holder like this. So your hands are free. Now you can do the soldering. So this is my soldering stand. This is my soldering gun. this is my soldering metal. Now first we have to check whether this gun is hot or not. So for that you have to use this metal. So gun is hot, so you can do the soldering. Now while doing the soldering, first you have to connect soldering gun like this 45 degree from this. So connect soldering gun and then insert soldering metal. Then you have to remove soldering metal first and then remove the soldering gun. You have to connect soldering gun, then soldering metal, remove soldering metal and then remove gun. So first you have to connect soldering gun, then soldering metal, then remove metal and then remove gun. So first you have to connect soldering gun, then insert metal and then remove metal first and then gun. So first gun, then metal, then remove metal, afterward remove gun. Why we are doing like this? Because when you connect gun, so when I connect gun, then that surface will become hot, and when I insert the metal, then that metal will melt and spread over the copper layer. So there is no air gap in between metal and copper track. So that soldering is perfect soldering. If there is air gap, then that soldering is known as dry soldering. So it will give output for that time, but after some time its output you will not get its output, because dry soldering will not give you proper output. So first you have to connect soldering gun so that this copper plate will become hot, and when you connect metal, then that metal will spread over the copper plate. So your shape of soldering should be volcano shape. It is not square, it should be volcano shape. If your shape is volcano shape, then your soldering is perfect. Now material used in soldering metal. This is my soldering metal. This is my soldering metal. Material used in soldering metal is lead and tin. Lead and tin. Lead. You know, Maggi is banned due to more content of lead. So lead is harmful for body. So while doing the soldering, you have to take precaution that there should be proper ventilation. If anyone has asthma problem, then due to this smell or smoke of this soldering, he will get trouble. So there should be proper ventilation. So we are doing the soldering. So this is our soldering. So in soldering, most precaution is first you have to connect soldering gun, then you have to connect soldering metal. So first you have to connect soldering gun, then soldering metal. So this is the right technique to do the soldering. Then you have to, suppose while doing the soldering there is short circuit. There is a short circuit between two tracks, and you want to do desoldering. So manually I will do the short circuit. So suppose I am doing short circuit manually, purposefully, so that I can show the demonstration how to do desoldering. So right now it is not short circuited, but I will make it short circuit. Now this is short circuit. So my soldering is wrong here. So I have to use this desoldering pump. So it looks like this. So you have to press this like this. So I will show how to do desoldering. So you have to connect soldering gun first, and you have to melt that metal. After that, connect this desoldering pump here and press this button. So all soldering metal will go inside this pump. So this is desoldering pump. Similarly, there is desoldering wick also, but desoldering pump is effective as compared to desoldering wick, and then you can repair the track. So desoldering pump is very important while maintenance or repairing. So we are doing the soldering. After soldering only you have to cut the terminals. So I am doing soldering. Don't touch the soldering gun because it is hot. So don't touch soldering gun. Material used for soldering is lead and tin. 60/40 is the ratio. In AC room you cannot do soldering because gun will not become hot. Even when fan speed is very high, you cannot do proper soldering. So while doing the soldering, take precaution that fan should be at low speed or it should be off, because soldering metal immediately it becomes dry. So after soldering I have to cut the terminal. Now this is plier. Plier is not used for cutting the terminal because its shape is like this. It is like scissor. So don't use plier. It is only used to remove the wire cover. So use cutter. So this is my cutter. So its shape is like this. So you have to cut the terminals. So I will cut the terminal. Keep hand above this so that terminal will not harm you. So I am cutting the terminals. After soldering only cut the terminals. Don't cut the terminals before soldering. So after soldering you have to cut the terminals. So all terminals are cut. Now we'll check whether there is any short circuit or not. So right now there is no short circuit, but I have not connected the connector. So I will connect the connector. So one connector is for transformer and one connector is for output. So I will connect this connector and I will do the soldering. So I will fit it here so that my hand will become free. So I had used connector to connect transformer, as well as I had used connector to get the output. Okay, so I am recording this using my normal mobile. Okay, so my soldering is done. Now I have to give input to primary. So this is my primary and this is my output. Now our part is testing. So first we will check whether we are getting 5 volt or not. So before testing, clean your board. There should not be any terminal. If there is terminal, there may be chance for short circuit. Now I have to connect transformer to this connector. Now, so I have to use stripper here. Now this is the use of plier. So plier is used to remove the cover of wire. Okay, so I have to connect primary here. So I am using heat shrink. This is my heat shrink tube. So I will make 3 heat shrink covers. So first I have to connect it here, then connect primary, no need to use tape if you are using heat shrink. So just move this heat shrink over here and give heat to this. So when you give heat, it will shrink and it will fit to the wire. So wire will not move. So no need to use tape. Similarly, I have to use this shrink. So due to this heat shrink, no need to use insulation tape. Heat shrink is available in all sizes, so you can take any size heat shrink, 1 mm, 2 mm, 3 mm, 5 mm. So according to requirement, heat shrink is available. So I am not using soldering gun to do the soldering, or I am not using insulation tape for this. So I had connected transformer to primary. Now this is my secondary. I have to check the voltage at this secondary. So we are using digital multimeter to check whether we are getting constant 5 volt output or not. Okay, so first take precaution, there should not be any terminal below this. So here I am getting 5 volt, this is my ground, and this is my minus 5 volt. So I will connect multimeter in DC voltmeter mode, and I will connect multimeter terminal to this. So this common pin is connected to negative terminal, and this is my plus 5 volt and this is my minus 5 volt. So I will give 230 volt supply to this. If these two LEDs are on, so you are getting supply, you are getting DC voltage, but we are not measuring right now. So I will connect this to 230 volt supply. So we have to check whether these two LEDs are on or off. So all these two LEDs are on, so we are getting some voltage. Now we have to check on multimeter whether you are getting plus 5 volt and minus 5 volt. So this is for plus 5 volt. So I am getting 4.92. So it is nearly equal to 5 volt, and this is minus 5 volt. I am getting minus 4.81. So it is nearly equal to minus 5. So as you are getting accurate voltage, means there is no problem in transformer, regulator, etc. If I want to measure the input, so my input is AC. So my input is AC. So if I measure my input AC transformer is 7.8 volt, and my DC is 9 volt, 9.9 means 10 volt. So my input is 7 volt and my output is 10 volts. Input is 7 volt AC and output is 10 volt DC. So how it is possible? Because AC, when it converts AC into DC, the ripple value, or you can say PIR, we are taking RMS value of AC. So if your input is 7 volt, multiply by root 2, that is your DC voltage. So if input is AC 7, if you see my input is AC 7.7, but my output is DC 9.9 means 10 volts. So my DC output is more. DC output is more as compared to AC input because of RMS value. Then that voltage is given to 7805, 7905. 7805 requires minimum 7 volt, and we are giving 9 volt. So its output is compulsory 5 volt. So we are getting constant plus 5 volt and minus 5 volt in this circuit. So this circuit is very useful for any electronic circuit. So this is our today's session to do the soldering, mount the component, do the soldering and test the circuit. Right now we are getting constant plus 5 volt and minus 5 volt. There is no problem in our circuit. So thank you very much for observing this video. Thank you. So this is our today's session. Thank you very much.